The guest is Dr. LBaldwin from Vanderbilt University, and of course the topic is the significance of the 2008 election. And of course, Dr. Baldwin, let's pick up where we left off. And since you are from one of the universities in this area, and one of the great universities in the nation and the world in a real sense, let's have you to sort of reflect on some of the things that have happened in reference to this election with the people that you work with, college students.
I've had many conversations both in the classroom and informally with students I work with, and interestingly enough, I've noticed the impact of the election on them. They see it as a call to responsibility, as a call to be more dedicated to what they're doing, what they should be about in terms of their studies, about in terms of their sense of social responsibility and reaching out and in being involved in activities beyond the classroom. So it is a call to responsibility. You mentioned earlier about the impact on young people. I think we can speak in those terms as well, because Obama got where he is today by studying hard, by working hard. Of course, he was a beneficiary of affirmative action, but he's always believed in personal responsibility. And I think his election is a testament to the power of that kind of message. So what I'm hearing in colleges and with college students today is that, hey, this is a call to more responsibility. We've got to work harder. We've got to become more community involved. We've got to have some goals in mind so we can sort of build on this. We can't expect him to solve all of our problems, which means involvement on our part, means organization on our part, it means political involvement on our part, and how we can become a force in helping this new president to unite this nation. The nation is so divided. But one thing that Obama said during the presidency, and I was very impressed with that, is that we are not red states and blue states. We are the United States of America. So there's been a lot of talk about what is our responsibility, what is my role in helping to cement this nation, which is so divided, which is experiencing so many economic problems and problems in other areas. How can we be a force in assisting this new president to deal with this multitude of problems that confront us?
You know, I think as a historian, you see, we've seen that there's been a very, very close comparison with Abraham Lincoln and Mr. Obama in terms of their outlook and perhaps even some of their policies and et cetera. What do you see in terms of that connection between the two?
Well, I think they're similar in the sense that both came to power, and Obama will be coming to power, at a very critical stage in our history. Lincoln came at a time when there were battles over the institution of slavery, came at a time when there was civil war, regional conflict between the churches over the institution of slavery. Obama is coming to power at a time when we're in a financial crisis, a financial crisis with global impact, at a time when we are divided along religious lines, class lines, racial lines. So like Lincoln, I think Obama will have the challenge of trying to heal a divided nation. And you know that was Lincoln's challenge, north, south. How do I heal a divided nation and bring us back to this sense of being one union, the United States of America? I think Obama has that same challenge. And the difference, of course, is that here you have a man of color. Who's looked upon not only as a symbol of unity in the United States, but a symbol throughout the world. Because there's a sense in which the whole world is hungry for the kind of leadership that unites, that heals. Because you have war in Afghanistan, you have war in Iraq, you have ethnic cleansing, you have chaos, confusion, terrorism. So I think Obama has a greater opportunity than even perhaps Lincoln did in terms of bringing some healing to a divided world. And not just a divided nation.
Good, very good. And I think that's sort of a world kind of view in reference to his election. You see? And I'm almost sure that if there's such a positive point of view in reference to his election, there also ought to be quite a bit of positive things in terms of how people would like to help him to achieve some of the things that he wishes to achieve.
Yes, the only thing that bothers me, I think we've attached this aura of messiahship to him. He has become a sort of messiah in the eyes of people around the world, and that can lend itself to unreasonable expectations. Problems aren't going to be solved simply by him coming into office. It's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of struggle for him to heal this financial crisis, to heal the divisions that exist around the world, and it's going to take a lot of assistance. He's asked for the help of the American people. He's willing to work with the American people. He's willing to work with leaders abroad. So I think he represents hope for the future in terms of healing the great divides that separate us. We live in a world where the Muslim East stands against the Christian West, where Jews are at war with Muslims. And we need a person with his kind of charismatic, magnetic personality, his kind of sane leadership, wise leadership to sort of bring healing within these divisions.
You know, one thing that Dr. Baldwin, is that there are so many people who somehow feel that unless something has been accomplished, through this administration, and that especially this financial situation, that it will be very, very difficult to deal with some of the problems that we have to deal with. And so how do you see this, the financial situation?
Yes, I think you're quite right. Karl Marx was right, as you well know, when he's the economic determinist, when he talked about dealing with the economic roots of problems. And if you can't deal with the economic roots of problems, then you can't solve the problems. So I think you're quite right, but I think his focus is correct. He's focusing on the middle class. And giving a tax cut to the middle class and empowering the middle class. And by empowering the middle class, he thinks that he can, build a stronger economy. And I think he's right there. Looking at issues of health care, the availability of jobs, tax cuts, money for people to cover mortgages and that kind of thing. So I think he's very much concerned with kitchen table issues. And I think that's the correct route in terms of changing or transforming the economy for the better.
Very good. Of course, Dr. Baldwin, let's stop for this second commercial break, after which we'll come back and we'll continue this conversation. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is the significance